Sossion, your background is classroom. And as a teacher, there's little things that you see in a student. I'd like us to also broaden that discussion. You pick a student who probably has some social background affecting their learning progress. How do you connect this to a student and generally to a country, little things in terms of governance?
Yes, and I remember every time I talk to students, I told them little things count. Small things that you ignore are the things that can make you grow big. And in teaching background, there is what you call individual difference. When you're teaching, you're not teaching a crowd. You're teaching an individual.
Yes.
And they present themselves differently. So you address the needs of each and every individual, and that requires a lot of pedagogical skills to do that, so that you carry everybody along. And that brings me to the issue of what you call national unity. We are not reinventing the wheel. All these things were addressed at independence, and the national philosophy was coined, that how are we going to carry ourselves as independent Africans in developing ourselves and moving with the developing world. And our forefathers coined the philosophy of peace, love, and unity. Let our people be united in what they are doing, in development, and let our people live in peace, not conflicts, not strife, not inflicting pains on your neighbor or causing suffering. Let everybody live in peace, and let people love themselves. And in East Africa, if you look at the regional level, if you look at Tanzania, they were able to really exterminate tribalism. There are many tribes in Tanzania, but you can't see the philosophy of Ujamaa, and there was strong leadership from Mwalimu Nyerere. Kenya, we adopted the capitalist system. We started struggling for land right after independence, fighting each other, stealing, promoting corruption. And if you look at it, now we are 60 years old. It's a very resilient economy. But that has been mismanaged because of self-interest. Eventually, we forgot the leadership that coined the same philosophy of peace, love, and unity, vacated that route, and went the route of ruthlessness. And that is why even in every electioneering year, people reflect on how to address the needs of everybody. And when you look at the new government, Kenya Kwanza, it was formed out of political confusion that was promoting dynasties and the interest of dynasties at the expense of the poor people. And that is why the Kenya Kwanza came up with the bottom-up economic. When you look at the bottom-up, you draw the pyramid of Kenya. Millions of Kenyans are at the base. They are suffering. They have no economic opportunities, cannot access food, they cannot access the basic services, and education of their children is at stake. Health services, very poor. And that is why there's been that revolution that we must deliberately focus on that. We can't ignore. We need to carry everybody along, everybody and everyone. And no one should be left behind going into the future. And I'm happy that philosophy, the new philosophy, is taking root, and it is now internalized in the feelings of Kenyans. And Kenyans are looking forward to a new republic, a new economic order. If you look at the last elections, it was not more of politics. It was not. It was about the economy. It was the politics of the economy and equality and social equality, and how to push people from the bottom. Because jurisdictions and democracies that have taken everybody up, and particularly in the global north, has been driven by strong social democratic policies, where people at the bottom unite and they support a political arrangement that speaks to their issues. This is exactly what happened in Kenya, and President William Ruto was able to drive that agenda and sell it across tribes. And for the first time, we saw an election where tribalism was very insignificant.